But in their previous meetings, Joe Perry has been more than competitive against Mark Allen. As we know, it's 5 matches each in terms of the head-to-head. Total frames, very tight also. 43 for Mark Allen, 40 for Joe Perry. Everything suggests this could be keenly contested.
It's always nice, though, to come into a tournament on the back of a win and that confidence. Red to the right corner is obviously on, but in terms of where the cue ball's going, there's other balls in the way, so I don't think he's going to take that one on. It's the most obvious pot. He's looking back at it now. Interesting to see how he plays this. Aiming low on the cue ball. Obviously the black also goes to the right corner. That's what he's playing for, but well, the last thing Joe wanted to leave for the man who's in form at the moment was an easy opener in this first frame.
What's that? Once we get into, yeah, they'll stay like this now. They'll not move. It's going to be fine. It's been a long time. Yeah. One.
The way he's played this season, although that isn't the best on the incorrect side of the blue, leaving chances for Allen is not recommended. He's made more century breaks in the 2022-23 campaign so far than anyone else. 16 thus far. Barry Hawkins next on the list with 15.
Six. Seven.
Nice crisp pot, nicely on the black, and this is where he excels. In the top 3 players in the world, in my opinion, in terms of cue ball control when he gets around this situation, around the pink and black.
40.
Cue ball just does very little mileage.
15.
Just doesn't travel far at all, just keeps excellent close control.
We've just seen Judd Trump record his 5th consecutive win in the Champion of Champions. Match win, that is.
23.
That's what Mark Allen wants to do this afternoon here. He won in 2020, didn't compete last year. When he lifted the trophy 2 years back, he had a very tough first round match against Scott Donaldson. He was 3-2 down, won 4-3. Then went from strength to strength. To such an extent, in his next 3 matches, he beat in turn Ronnie O'Sullivan, Judd Trump and Neil Robertson. You can't get a tougher draw than that, Stephen.
No, it's very impressive. And he is, there's no doubt. And maybe this is a season that he comes of age and proves it. He's always been one of the best players in the world, but just not a consistent enough winner to be considered as one of the true greats in the game. As I said, the way he started the season, maybe this could be the making of him this season as one of the greats.
.31.
He was telling me yesterday he's hardly played any golf this year because he had a case of the shanks. But there's been no miscues, or very few.
That shot was obviously made a lot easier. The fact that the brown was off its spot. Plenty of room to go in and out of bulk. Judged it to perfection. But that is a wide.
Mark Allen, 36.
That's what they call a mystery shot.
One. Six. Seven.
Always very neat and tidy, Joe Perry, as a player. He's here because he won the Welsh Open. And en route to capturing that title,
14.
he beat Mark Allen 4-3 in the third round.
$15.
Very good chance of the counter-attack here for Joe Perry. Just a little shake of the right arm there. Take him about
20.
say 3 or 4 shots to sort of get that Q arm relaxed and in stroke. Well, I've got over
21.
that now, so now it's just a point of focusing on the job here. Best of sevens, as we say, are short matches, so nice to get a psychological blow in early.
28. $29. $36. $37.
48 years of age now, Joe Perry. In a different era, he would have been considered very much a veteran. These days, being in your 40s is no barrier to success.
44. 45.
He's going to need the red on the left cushion. being a right-hander. It obviously doesn't suit him to be on that side of the table. He's not one of those players that can just
52.
swap hands and play it quite easily, so if he's not able to move it, and it's not in a great place to move, he's going to have to play it with a
50.
rest. And a little shake of the head there. Careless. Left himself straight on the black. If the red went past the pink into this right corner pocket, it'd just be a deep screw to take the cue ball to the left side of the table. But you can see the pink's in the way, so he's going to have to leave a tricky red to the left middle here. And because the red is much more difficult, it's getting an angle in the next colour to get to the last red that's going to be more difficult as well.
60.
So the problems are escalating here just through that one careless positional shot in the black.
Joe Perry, 60.
It's a good innings, 60, but it's not sufficient to win this frame. Far from it. And worse still, he leaves the table and gives a chance.
One.
You can see Mark Allen being a left-hander. That red is not really a problem for him should he get position on it, but I'm not sure what kind of angle he has in the black to be able to do that. Not a lot of angle at all.
Positionally accepted defeat.
8.
Just wants to put Perry in maximum strife here.
Mark Allen, 8.
This is a kind of situation where Joe Perry really excels. One of the great tactical players in the game today. Yep. Why did I open my mouth, Phil? I always do it, don't I?
One.
At least the yellow isn't ideal. The rest of the balls are, though. Never in a month of Sundays did I think that cue ball was going to get there, but it did.
I'm sure Mark Allen wasn't playing for the yellow into this middle pocket. It's just a very acute angle, and it'd been almost an unbelievable positional shot. I'm sure he's playing for it into either right middle or the green pocket. Trying to get in behind the yellow.
Mark Allen 6.
That's not a good shot though. He find himself behind the brown. His next shot, Mark Allen. Joe Perry can avoid the double kiss. Yellow up and down the table.
Splitting cue ball and object ball on either side of the table. And getting the ping to intervene. An edgy opening frame, this. It was a really weak safety, I thought, from Perry. Got away with it in terms of Allen not potting the yellow, but there's a fluke snooker involved here. As there was, of course, at the tail end of the previous match this afternoon. They can be very useful indeed. That wasn't an easy escape. Perry has to be delighted with the outcome, even though he has left the yellow on. Difficult though it is.
when you get frames like this, the longer this sort of safety battle goes on, it almost puts more pressure, makes the frame seem more important to win. And it hurts even more when you lose it. It's only the first frame of the match, but because of this little tactical exchange, it's taken on quite a bit of importance to win it. Whoever does will get a huge lift of confidence.
Allen just keeps putting Perry in jail. Look at these colours. I think whoever pots the yellow has to be regarded as a massive favourite. But Perry keeps finding the answers, the escape answers. He was looking it up and down that shot, Mark Allen, as the two balls were rolling. They've dropped. Lovely for Perry.
Two. Five.
Just taking a peek at the scoreboard, which makes pleasant reading. The brown will be enough.
Nine. Joe Perry, 9.
Someone jumped the gun with the clapping there. Thought the blue was in.
Five. $11.
And the first
On
frame.
the break of 36,
Still
Mark
Perry.
Allen missed a very surprising red. And thereafter, he was always behind the 8 ball. Perry 1-0. Ronnie O'Sullivan, John Higgins and Mark Williams. Joe Perry also turned professional 30 years ago, and he has a bank of experience that makes him very tough to
Thank you
beat.
to second frame. Mark Allen to break.
These two have met before in the Champion of Champions in this round. Mark Allen lost the opening frame, ended up winning 4-2. He would love a repeat.
One.
Well, I said we would have won that last frame.
One.
Huge boost of confidence, and that was a lovely pot from Joe Perry. Stroked it in with great authority. Cued it lovely. And he's found himself with not a bad angle in the brown to left middle to get the cue ball back up the table. Not really sure what he was playing for in that shot, because he's landed in pretty much in no man's land with the cue ball. I can only assume that he was playing for two reds, the choice of two reds to the right corner, but he's just overhit it by a long way. Yeah, that was
Joe Perry 5.
very poor shot on the brown from Joe after that nice opening red. Disappointed going back to his chair. The way the reds are situated, a real chance to keep the pressure on his opponent.
The red he just took on hit a large chunk of that far jaw, as indeed did the red on the break of 60 in the first frame for Perry. So 2 shots to middle haven't threatened.
One. Mark Allen 1.
He displayed an awful lot of patience when he won the Northern Ireland Open recently. Yes, he played superbly at times in that tournament, but at others he had to dig deep. Most notably against Andy Lee from Hong Kong. Came through that 4-3, but it was a real struggle.
Foul. Mark Allen 4. One.
That, Stephen, is the kind of shot that gets you going.
Yeah, nice to hear the object ball hitting the back of the pocket, hitting leather, and also not only getting the pot but getting nicely on the colour. It's giving Mark Allen a chance
6.
in the second frame. He'd be very disappointed the way he broke down in the previous frame, missing that very easy red on 36 when I think everyone
7.
thought he was going to go on and convert in that first frame. So we're putting double the concentration into this effort.
12.
Such a great feeling when you're full of confidence, when you think any chance you get the table, you can win the frame at one visit.
$13.
Two reds either side of the black, and the red near the right corner pocket. They're just making it a little bit awkward. Need to concentrate on the pink at the moment, and possibly the blue. Well, certainly not the pink now. It's gone up onto the green spot. So yeah, it's
19.
this break is not getting any easier. Obviously, when this red goes, the pink can go back in its own spot.
20.
That's what Mark Allen was planning there, playing up for the pink. And he's not gone far enough, so maybe the blue. No, he's gone back to the pink. This one has to be struck well. Yeah, very good. Although, I'm saying that, I thought he was on the red
26.
perfectly, the red below the pink, but there was a little shake of the head. Just enough room, it seems.
27.
Now, as I was saying in the first frame, this is a kind of situation where the cue ball will literally be travelling inches each shot. May not even use the cushions that often here, such as his tight control of the cue ball. Just a little series of stuns and screws.
33. $34. $40.
This is just the product
41.
of hours and hours on the practice table, doing all sorts of routines around the pink and black, honing that cue ball control.
$47. $48.
From his reaction, he believes he got a big bounce there. Now, when we have seen big bounces this week, and we haven't seen too many, it's always been off that particular cushion. Not that it turned out to be any kind of issue.
53. $54.
$60 in front, 59 on. Elementary red to come.
$61.
Allen made 8 centuries in front of our cameras at the British Open.
67.
He made 6 in winning the Northern Ireland Open. And now he's
68.
looking for his first here.
$75. 76.
Stephen, it's a formula that always
83.
works. Knock in a red and then retain position.
84.
Yeah, and Joe Perry will be sat in his chair a little bit frustrated because these could have been his. He was in first. And at this level, you've just got to take these chances, especially in a best of 7.
91.
But it's really been a masterclass
93.
from Mark Allen in cue ball control this break. It really is
96.
striking the ball beautifully. Another kind of long range of cue action for Robertson or Sullivan. Very, very effective in these situations.
$105. $111.
The century
118 on the break.
maestro
Mark Allen.
of this season adds to his total. Mastery over the white. In the spotlight this afternoon, Joe Perry and Mark Allen. Two contrasting frames so far. If you're just joining us, Perry won the first, shaded it on the brown.
The third frame. Joe Perry to break.
But there was nothing tight about the second frame. Mark Allen knocked in a red from distance after Perry had gone in off and made 118. That's why the scores are tied. Perry was up off that break very quickly. He thought he'd caught it too thick. He did, but the cue ball just about limped its way back into baulk anyway.
Excellent from Mark Allen. A very aggressive safety shot, opening the reds up. You know, nice cue ball. Not tight in the baulk cushion, but very close. Putting real pressure on this return from Joe Perry. A wry nod of the head from Joe. He's in trouble here.
Most double kisses when you're playing safe don't work out handily. That most certainly is not. Alan already in scoring mode. Back at the business end of the table.
One. Four. Five.
Play this cue ball into an area here. Give them a chance of 3, maybe even 4 reds. 2 to right corner, 1 to left corner. Also the 1 to left middle next to the blue. Yeah, that's the area the cue ball's gone into.
8.
Just a little bit short, so it'll probably be the last of those reds that I mentioned, the one into the left middle. Yeah, maybe we'll be able to brush the cue ball off the blue to leave the blue into the same pocket. And decided to not risk that.
9.
Up for the bulk colour. Can play a similar shot of the brown of 2 cushions. Take the cue ball into a similar sort of area. Has he got the pace right this time? Again, it's just pulled up short.
30.
No red to left middle. Coming to the rescue this time.
Yeah, that's 6 pots for 13 points. An awful lot of work for, as yet, a small reward.
Mark Allen. 30.
It wasn't on, it had to be made, and when that's the case, there is always the danger of inaccuracy.
1. Five. Six.
Could decide to play a cannon of 2 cushions here, should he wish. I decided to just play off 1. An option to have 2 cushions and play a little cannon on the red and black. The red is closest to the black. Try and bring that
11.
into play. Maybe able to play for the black to the same pocket after this shot. And now this
12.
is opening up nicely into a frame winning opportunity for Joe Perry. But as I always say,
Joe Perry 12.
missing blacks off a spot at this level is unforgivable. Just took his eye off the pot, concentrating on the cannon.
Trickier than you might imagine, this kind of shot, especially employing the rest.
One.
Well, that was beautiful. Just to land with that angle on the pink there. Absolutely perfect. The frame at his mercy now. The way
7.
he's scoring, you'd be absolutely shocked and stunned if he didn't win the frame at this visit.
8.
Everything's there.
Forty. $50.
You've done it, Stephen, on a number of occasions, but to retain, successfully defend a world ranking title is a real feather in the cap. Especially on home soil, as this Antrim boy did in Belfast. But he's also won
21.
another world ranking event 2 years in succession, the World Open in China.
22.
Well, he's stopped in his tracks there because he's just held the cue ball a little bit too much. I don't expect him to miss the pink. He got more angle on this than he planned. Yeah, it was a fantastic achievement to retain that Northern Ireland Open.
28.
You say to have all the expectation, all the support on your shoulders,
29.
to just focus on what you're there to do, win the tournament. 2 years in a row is It's a fabulous achievement. He's very, very ambitious, Mark Allen. He wants to get to the very top of the game. He wants to win the biggest tournaments.
35. $36.
Ooh, wanted just a little bounce there off the top
40.
cushion.
$44.
Red was frame ball. The blue just makes sure, and this red will certainly
49.
stop Joe Perry having any thoughts of coming back to the table.
50.
You've seen Joe Perry in his chair there. It's another frame that, okay, Mark Allen's completely dominated it, but it's a frame that
57.
Joe Perry had a chance in. Keep saying these best of sevens, you've got to take your chances.
Mark Allen, 57. And the
Yes,
frame.
and you have to pot blacks off the spot. When you miss them, you can expect the consequences. The consequence of this, Allen leads 2-1. The news here in Bolton, Mark Allen is halfway to a quarter-final against Judd Trump this evening.
Nice, Mark. Thank you, frame 4. Mark Allen to break.
In this race to 4, this sprint to 4, Allen leads 2-1, and he's looked definitely the better player thus far.
Yeah, as I always say, it's not the difficult shots that cost you in these matches. A lot of the time, most of the time, it's the easy ones that cost you frames in matches, and that's exactly what's happened with Joe Perry in the second and third frames.
1.
Yeah. If there's ever a shot that proves how confident a player is, that was it. Okay, it looks there pretty simple, but from that distance and the way he played it confidently for the black, it almost seemed inevitable when he got down to it that he was going to pot it. You just get that air of confidence. It's just oozing from Mark Allen.
8. Mark Allen, 8.
In the first frame, he missed a red that no one could quite believe. That one was even more unexpected.
Well, I'm
1.
sure Mark Allen's absolutely stunned, as am I. Incredible miss. I mean, just completely taking the pot for granted.
Eight. 9.
The 2 reds above the black. Possibly play a little cannon on the right hand side, one of those. Leave the other one. He's got options. Can play a red to the right cushion as well, but yeah, that was the right shot. Because now he's got the angle on the red that should he pot it, he can bring another couple of reds into play.
16.
Well, I thought I'd be a little bit more aggressive with that shot. That was a bit, well, just sort of didn't want to take a risk really with position. Sign of being 2-1 behind.
$24.
A couple of times he's had pots to middle where he's been too thick. That one,
25.
the adjustment was made and the break continues.
Very similar to Jimmy White, and when Joe Perry is
29.
playing a screw shot, he really goes so low in the address position on the cue ball.
30.
Almost the tip of the cue is almost touching the cloth, touching the bed of the table.
$37. $38. Make sure your phones are off or on silent, please.
Well, he won't be able to go into the bunch of reds directly from the angle on the blue. He may be able to force sort of 2 cushions, top spin, left hand side. That's if there's no reds available. The one next to the pink to left middle. And this will bring in another red or 2 into play, I think.
43.
Not an absolute gimme this, to pot the red and get good position.
44.
Good, but as I say, not perfect on the next colour.
doesn't lack support, Joe Perry, when he knocks in a good one. Getting lots of encouragement from the crowd. But that isn't a good one. It's the opposite.
Joe Perry, 44.
Maybe Alan was starting to fear the worst. If he can salvage this frame now, it might be the beginning of the end, Stephen.
You could all see severely overhitting that. Okay, he's trying to play a stun off the cushion, but seemed to really have a go at that one. Even the rest moved, everything moved there.
With a 36-point lead, Perry. Yes, of course, he's playing safe, but also knocking a red under a cushion. Alan's incentivized to try and get it in the open.
Foul, a miss. Joe Perry, 6. Yeah.
Brendan Moore, his memory being tested here. Couple of balls to put back.
Is it up on that screen, Marcel?
Ah, he does have the assistance of the marker, Marcel Eckhart.
Me?
More?
Like a ball higher. Maybe half ball towards you.
Outstanding Q Sports officials, these two.
Cue ball.
Both of them officiated at the recent US Open 9-ball in Atlantic
Cue ball
City.
look all right?
Not just snooker, they can
It's not on the screen.
take charge of.
Joe, thank you.
Key thing with that shot to avoid the middle pocket jaws, and Perry did. We talked about Mark Allen having a great season so far. It's not been the case for Perry. Success has been in very short supply. Made no impact at the Championship League, lost in the first round of the European Masters, out in the last 64 of Northern Ireland and the British Open. And last week in the English Open qualifiers, he lost in the very first round to Cao Yupeng. So victory here today would be a real morale booster. And now he should be targeting 2-2.
Yeah, he's not been left the most straightforward opener here. You can see the way the balls are situated. There's a bit of pressure on this pot. But right in the middle, and that little glaze off the blue has helped him, because I don't think he'd be on a colour but for that little kiss on the blue. I think the cue ball would have ended up sort of near the baulk line. So a good chance now. Draw level at 2-2. Where's that cue ball going?
Six.
Perry 48 ahead, but pertinently 75 points still on the table.
That's a very clever shot. It really is. It looked pretty simple, but putting that red right next to the black ball, it's just another obstacle in Mark Allen's way, should he get a chance.
It was ever thus when you miss a very easy ball at the start of a frame. So often the gods of snooker will not allow you to get back in.
One.
Yeah, we said how obviously confident Mark Allen must be with the form he's showed the last couple of tournaments, but all it takes is 2 or 3 of those little easy misses to put a huge dent in that confidence, to put doubt back in your mind. So this shows you've got to be focused all the time, give every shot
7.
respect.
Eight.
Allen has got every right to be irritated, frustrated, annoyed even.
30.
He's been the better player, and he's going to have nothing to show for it.
Thanks.
The disappearance of that
40.
red confirms 2-2.
$19. $20.
Nothing especially spectacular from Joe Perry, but he's still in there swinging.
26.
And in these short matches, stickability can be really useful.
Joe Perry, 26 under frame.
Of course, Mark Allen concedes. He had a wonderful chance early on, but he messed it up. And now it is really tight and tense. We are watching quite a battle at the University of Bolton Stadium. It is day 3 of the Kazoo Champion of Champions. Judd Trump is already through to the quarterfinals this evening. We don't know his opponent yet. I can tell you this, I think Trump might like to see this go all the way to a decider. And let the winner of the match and his next opponent,
Joe Perry, to
expend maximum nervous energy.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say it's been pretty good standard, but it's been sort of unforced errors, the easy mistakes. Both players have missed some really bad balls in this match so far. Played lots of good stuff, but some, as I say, pretty bad misses.
%92% pot success rate for Mark Allen through 4 frames and a bit. More than decent. But Stephen's quite right. Two glaring errors. The red that went wide in the first frame, and then the short range red that somehow avoided the pocket in the fourth.
Joe always knew that he was going to leave a possibility of a pot in this red, the one that's closest to the cue ball to the right corner, but as long as he got the cue ball on the cushion, then Mark Allen wouldn't go for it because he needs to get to the bottom of the cue ball to avoid going into the rest of the reds.
Yes, that was definitely worth the applause. Thin contact needed with huge amounts of check side. With the balls positioned as they are, both players are acutely aware any kind of safety misjudgment could prove expensive.
He's looking at something pretty extreme there. Looking at the red to go off the black and then towards the red. It's near the right corner pocket. To possibly pot the red to the corner. Well, it's a fabulous cue ball, but I think he may have left Joe the red to the right corner, the second one, the one that's nearest the cushion.
Oh dear. It was a thin clip, but not that thin. As the cue ball was coming down the table, you knew immediately he wasn't going to make contact.
Yeah, unwanted right hand side in the cue ball, just dragged the cue ball to the right. Wasn't the best bit of cueing that Joe's ever produced. And what a chance now for Mark Allen. As you said, Phil, the way the Reds are situated now, the first mistake could have been very costly.
Seven. Eight.
I think the miss in the previous frame might be, in a strange way, helping Mark Allen here, because he won't be dropping that concentration level. He'll be acutely aware he needs to fully focus. When you miss a ball like he did, it can be a wake-up call.
50.
Yeah, he's just going to be careful with the cue ball here. Left himself a tricky little shot here. As you can see, black not available to left corner. And you can see there's very little room to get the cue ball up for the blue or up for a bulk colour. Because I think the angle he's gotten it, he can't go up close to the right cushion. He can't hug the cushion, as it were. And yeah, that was never going to be straightforward. Is he on the black? Yeah, looks like he is. And these are never easy. Important thing is to keep dead still. Keep your head still in these shots. Yeah, very good. Very, very good. One of the shots of the match so far for me, that one.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. They are the glue that binds
20.
together winning breaks.
Nicely played shot there. Played with left-hand side, check side. You can see the cue ball, the pace killed as it hit the baulk cushion.
28. $29.
Yeah, he's just got a little bit more angle in this blue than he would have liked, because the normal shot would be to stun off the black cushion for a choice of a couple of reds, but the red that's tight on the black cushion, that's exactly where he'd want to send the cue ball. So he's taken that shot out of the equation. He's probably going to have to screw the cue ball towards the right side of the table here, which means he's really got to get into it nicely. Well, he's not playing the shot because he's aiming up the cue ball. It this way, he was always going to leave himself a little bit further away from the red than he would have liked.
34. $35. $42. $43.
The cue ball obeying once more.
$48.
Those little holding shots, the one he just played off the blue, that's when his cue action really does come to the fore. Because if you've got a really long backswing, it's so easy to
49.
decelerate on those shots and not get the momentum on the cue ball.
$54.
I think he thought he was going to be a bit in trouble there to overhit it, but he's okay. He's the extension, but he's on this red comfortably to the right corner. Not many pots away now from taking the 3-2 lead.
$55. $62. $63.
This simple routine pink should be enough.
$69.
Total points.
70.
You'd think it was Allen domination, but he's only going to be one in front with 2 to play.
$76. $77. 84. 85. 92.
Really good
93.
response this from the disappointment of missing that tiddler of a red. For Allen, the centuries just
100.
keep on flowing.
101.
This is the third time that Allen has made 2 centuries in a match against Joe Perry.
$108. 110.
But just a warning, on one of those occasions in the UK Championship in 2017, Perry beat him. So it's not all about scoring.
Mark Allen, 110.
Right now, though, Allen is back in front. Deservedly so. He needs one more frame to reach the quarterfinals of the Champion of Champions. We are getting down to the crunch.
Thank you. Frame 6. Mark Allen to break.
Mark Allen has got every reason to be full of self-belief. His performances this season, yes, that's a tick. And his performance this afternoon, breaks of 118, 57 and 110. But he will not be dropping the guard. No way, no how.
Well, the shot is on to pot this red to right corner and stun across for the black. The same pocket. It's a shot that in a practice session Joe wouldn't have any hesitation in playing, but his next mistake could be his last one, so big shot this. Yeah, he's just... Well, I was going to say he's hit it so bad that he's actually not left anything. And that red is coming down the table. I don't think it's potable, so got away with one there, Joe Perry. Didn't hit this well at all. Yeah, I think that expression shows you what he thinks of it.
the second ringing mobile phone of the match. And both have had different ringtones, so we know it's two culprits, not one.
Don't panic, take your time, otherwise it'll take you longer. Are you going to answer it?
I feel for you.
Just answer it. Just answer it, tell them you're on your way.
At the World Championship one year, Stephen, there was a load of phones going off, and I was critical of all these people for leaving their mobiles on and basically saying it's a disgrace and all this. And about 5 minutes later, my phone went off in the commentary box. I'd left mine on.
Well, you touched on it earlier, Phil, that Mark Allen would like to get this match won in this frame to give him maximum time to just relax before the big final of the group tonight, but putting that red over the corner pocket won't help his cause.
One.
It's a situation where Joe try and pick out a point on the baulk cushion where it's almost like, where would I dislike the most to play my next shot from? Find that point.
Ramos.
I've settled for somewhere in the baulk cushion behind the yellow.
Joe Perry, 1.
Yeah, well played.
One.
He missed his first attempt at a red in this frame by a mile. That was so much better.
Six.
Nothing doing there, though.
Joe Perry, 6.
Aggressive in defence there, getting the reds all nicely open. But
Joe Perry was looking for a safety shot there. Doesn't really want to take this on, this red, but he's forced into it. He never fancied that at any stage. He was desperately looking for the left side of the table to play a safety shot. Is that the last shot he's going to play in this year's Champion of Champions?
One.
It's been a strange old mixture, this match. Reliable excellence from Allen in some frames, sprinkled in with two very surprising misses.
6.
But now the close proximity of the finishing line will surely galvanise the concentration.
7.
Yeah, the form he's been in. Final of the British Open, winning the Northern Ireland Open, means he's used to this situation. The frame to clinch the match. Used to seeing that winning line and not being afraid of it. I'd be very surprised if Mark Allen doesn't win this match at this
12.
opportunity.
$13.
This sort of situation is a habit that you want to be in. Converting these chances to win matches.
$20. $21. $28. $29.
He's very much in the Ding O'Sullivan bracket when it comes to mastery of the cue ball. And in pressure situations, that makes your life so much easier.
$35. $36. $43. $44.
And should he go on to convert this chance, as I fully expect him to do so, I think without showing any disrespect to Luca Brissell or Joe Perry, I think it's the final of the group that everyone wanted to see tonight. I think it promises to be an incredible
51.
match. The informed player
52.
against, well, one of the top players in the world in Judd Trump. I think it'll be something to savour.
Almost there now.
59. $60.
$58 in front, 59 on.
65.
But this is meat and drink.
66.
Yeah. Excellent scoring performance this has been, Mark Allen. Okay, one or two little lapses of concentration, but savage scoring
73.
Chance to possibly make his 3rd century.
$74.
Yeah, 3 centuries in any match is a real achievement. To make 3 in a best of 7, that's some going. Remember, he was the last player
81.
to qualify, was Mark Allen.
82.
He's the only non-world champion to have his name on the Champion of Champions trophy. And on this display, it could be there for the 2nd time in 3 years.
87. $88.
It really is a great feeling when you're this confident. Snooker seems easy. Say every time you come to the table, you think you're going to clear it. He's definitely the man to beat in this competition.
$97.
And with his new slimline frame, he could reach that yellow. He might not have been able to do that. Oh, what a shame.
Mark Allen,
Denied the
97.
hat-trick of centuries by missing the green. Nevertheless, Mark Allen, oozing confidence, goes through to the quarterfinals, defeating Joe Perry deservedly by 4 frames to 2.